If there is one thing the Just Dance community all have in common, it's opinions, and boy do we have a lot of them, and I myself am no different. And so today I will be sharing with you guys 6 of my personal Just Dance hot takes. We're gonna start with the lightest, most warmest ones, and then we're gonna get hotter and hotter as we continue. How hot are these takes going to go? Well, spoiler alert, the last 2 takes will probably have you guys end up hating me and could possibly ruin my reputation in this community. That's how hot they are. So keep this in mind, all of these are my personal opinion. You are free to have your own, so if you do agree or disagree with some of these takes, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on some of these. So without further ado, let's start. Take number 1. I think each coach having their own difficulty in one song is a great change. So for the unaware, very recently in 2025, they seem to have introduced a new feature, I guess, in their games, where if you're playing a map that happens to have either 3 players or a duet, each coach will have their own style of difficulty with their choreo. One coach will have either an easy choreo, while the other will have either a medium or hard choreo. Basically, they're just not gonna really be matching their dance styles and be in sync all throughout the whole map. The most recent example I've been seeing is with the recent preview for the song Hung Up by Madonna. I've seen some JD YouTubers give their thoughts on the fact that they don't like the fact that the coaches are not really in sync, and when they are in sync, it's for the chorus, but they really did not like the beginning part where each coach has their own different difficulty. I can understand, sometimes it can be distracting, you know, when you're supposed to follow one coach, but then the other 2 are doing their own thing. Me personally, I actually love this change. I don't know about you guys, but when I see these coaches do their own dance move, it makes them feel more and more human than rather just having them sync up and do the exact same dance move all throughout the entirety of the song. When I see these 2 guys do their own dance move, it makes them feel like they have their own personalities. They're vibing, they're doing their own thing. I like that. I like that detail about them. So yeah, I think this is a great change. I love that they're adding more of a personality with each of these coaches. I like that they're giving them more of their own thing to do instead of just following up with the one coach in the middle. I like this change, and I do hope they continue with this going forward. Take number 2. Come On is still better than Timber. Just gonna rip the band-aid off right there. So if you saw the previous hot takes video, you'd notice I had a very mixed opinion on how I felt about Timber at the time, because look-wise it looked like fun. I just never really properly played it because it was a DLC. I couldn't afford DLCs back then, so I never played it, and it was never on Just Dance Unlimited or Just Dance Plus. And now, recently, after so many people have been asking it, it has finally been brought back in Just Dance Plus after over a decade. And I played it for the first time, and all I'm gonna say is it was fun. That's it. It's just pretty fun. But I do like Come On a little more. Now look, after playing Timber, I will admit the scoring is a lot better compared to Come On's scoring. I will admit that part has me beat there. However, since recently, when Just Dance announced that they were fixing the scoring for some of the songs that are considered broken by fans, it gives me full-on hope that Come On is finally gonna get the scoring fix that they definitely needed, because so far that is the only thing that's killed Come On for me, because I love Come On so much. It is such a great map. I love the vibes, I love the choreo, I love the dynamic between these 2 coaches a lot more than Timber. That's the hottest take I have right here. And I'm just gonna say it, I think Come On is a better Kesha song compared to Timber. Not saying that Timber's bad, by the way, it's just a little bit more better. But since we are gonna get a scoring update, I am hoping that they are going to finally fix Come On scoring, and it will hopefully validate my opinions on how I feel about Come On, because yes, Come On is personally my favorite Kesha map, with Timber being a close second. So yeah, that's how I feel. Basically, all I'm saying is if they do add more Kesha to Just Dance in the future, don't ever ask me to make a Kesha ranking video, is basically all I'm saying, because you would not like the outcome here. Take number 3. As much as we would all love to see her return, Rihanna may never come back into Just Dance, and we need to accept it. Now, I can guarantee you, almost 100% certainty, if you just look under any post that Just Dance has made, whether if it's a video or anything in their community post or anything in their social media, I can promise you there is at least 5 people in the comment sections asking them to add Rihanna, like bring back Rihanna, bring back her songs, make a Rihanna music pack, you know? People love Where Have You Been, Only Girl in the World, or Pon the Replay, or as Shane Top would say,
Pon the Replay.
And look, I understand. I love Rihanna. I would love to see her come back into Just Dance, but here's one thing this fan base needs to absolutely understand, and that's how licensing music works, especially when it comes to Rihanna. Because look, I know Madonna is arguably more expensive than Rihanna. You also need to understand how strict labels are. Because look, as much as we love Rihanna, she's pretty protective as hell when it comes to her music, that not even Instagram and TikTok could license her songs. So do we really think Ubisoft has a shot with licensing her music, especially with the current state that they're in right now? The best outcome that I can realistically see them do is if they do afford the rights to the song, but it's a Ubisoft cover. And I can guarantee you, no one would want that. No one wants that. No one would like it. It would be instantly trashed. Unless they find a really good sound-alike, like what they did with Doja Cat and Boss Witch, I don't see it be well liked. That would be the worst outcome possible. Look, I get it. I understand. I love the Rihanna songs in Just Dance. Where Have You Been, Disturbia, Umbrella, some of my favorite maps in all of Just Dance. They're iconic, they're great, they're fun. And I would love to see Rihanna return. But until further notice, when stuff like Instagram and TikTok can't afford her, I do not see Ubisoft affording her at all. So look, as much as we miss her, as much as I'd love to see her be brought back, I don't think Rihanna is ever coming back, and we as a whole, as a community, need to accept it. Take number 4. The newer Just Dance games are better than the old ones. Now hold your pitchforks and torches here, okay? Let me explain. Now look, I absolutely have nothing against the old games. I love old Just Dance. They are absolutely fun. They'll hold a special place in my heart. I will treasure them so much. I do love a lot of songs from the older games, but in terms of quality, they've absolutely have evolved for the better. Now, I understand there are some things that were in the old games that are not available to play in the new games that a lot of fans do miss, like battle mode, mashups, and World Dance Floor, and I can understand that, but I will say there are some new things that Just Dance has done that I will appreciate. I like how they make the coaches' faces more visible, it makes them more expressive and more human. And I love how inclusive they've been in the recent games with, you know, couples of LGBTQ, different coaches of skin color. I love how they've included choreos inspired by ASL. I love all of this stuff. They're great. It's a great inclusivity. I love the more seated maps being more for disabled people. It's great. I love how they're focusing more on being more inclusive compared to the older games. Now again, don't get me wrong, I love the older games. They will always hold a special place in my heart, but if we're focusing more on the quality, absolutely modern Just Dance is eating everything up and it's great. I have been loving it so much more. Take number 5. So, you know how in recent Just Dance there are modes that are currently missing in the new games that a lot of people have been wanting forever and they've been asking Just Dance to return for so long? Yeah, let's talk about World Dance Floor. And I'm gonna say it, I'm so sorry. I never cared for World Dance Floor, so I don't really mind at all if it does come back or not. Now this one you could argue should probably be the last hottest take I will ever give in Just Dance, since I don't really ever see anyone share this opinion ever, but World Dance Floor was not really for me. It just wasn't my thing. Here is the thing with me. Again, giving you some insight of my lore. You know how in my description, and I keep saying on my channel how I'm a terrible dancer, I'm so bad at dancing? That's based on the real life insecurity I have of my actual dancing. I've been pretty insecure about my dancing for quite a long time. I don't like dancing in front of people, so if I'm ever playing Just Dance, it's by myself in my room, and I never really liked dancing in front of anybody anymore. My last encounter with World Dance Floor was when I opened up Just Dance 2022, and I competed against, like, I believe 20 people, and everyone was way better at this than me. And I ended up in like second to last place. And the first thing I did after all of that was done was I turned off my Switch and I went to bed and I started crying myself to sleep because I felt so awful about myself. Do you want to know the worst thing about this whole take, aside from my insecurity about myself? I never even noticed World Dance Floor was even gone. I didn't notice it was gone until I got Just Dance 2023, and then I started making videos on my channel, and that's when I started to take notice of the community, and I started seeing people be vocal about how much they miss World Dance Floor, and that's when I noticed, oh yeah, World Dance Floor is gone. Well, yeah, that sure sucks, but I kind of don't really care for it. But look, I'm one person, okay? Just because I didn't really care for World Dance Floor doesn't mean a lot of people didn't either, okay? A lot of people loved it. They adored it. They miss it. And so if they do miss it and they want it back, I hope that World Dance Floor does come back for the people who did love it, for the fans who adored it, who miss it. And I hope Just Dance does find a way to bring it back. Just don't ask me to ever compete on World Dance Floor. You will never see me on there. And take number 6, the final take of the day, which this one may actually change how you view me in this community. Okay, I'm just gonna straight up say it. I do not like the story mode in Just Dance. In fact, I kinda hate it. Okay, yeah, okay, bye everyone. Bye everyone. It's been a great year. It's been a great time being a JD creator. It's fun. Okay, bye everyone. It's been great. Okay, now hold on, okay? I wouldn't really say I hated the story mode, okay? Hate is a pretty strong word, okay? It's just, compared to everyone else in the community, I'm just the one that's the least bit interested in this whole story mode. Now again, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against lore in general when it comes to Just Dance. Sometimes they can make it work. Grace and Ari's story, the Bride and Rasputin, until Payphone happened, in which case I'm kind of starting to lose interest, but the most recent example is La Bachata. You know, it starts off nice, short and sweet, and then the ending segues into Soltera. I like it. I like that. It's a nice segue. It's a nice little reference here and there. But when it comes to talking about the story mode, I do personally have my own issues with the story mode. I think the cutscenes are definitely way too long, but that's mostly a problem in 2023. Just Dance 2024, they shortened it enough, but I still think they do need an option to have the cutscenes only play if you're playing the playlist story mode, or just give us an option where you can just skip the cutscenes entirely. Like, it just needs to be an option. That's my opinion there. The song choices alone are alright choices. I think there are definitely some that needed to be different choices. Respectfully, I don't think Jack Rose needed to have Treasure by Bruno Mars. It just felt like the Just Dance team just decided to add in another Bruno Mars song for Jack Rose because Locked Out of Heaven did so good. That being said, however, despite all of that I said, I cannot deny the fact that there are people in the fan base who do love it. And I love that there are people who do love the story mode. There are fan bases, there are people who love these characters, love the story, and are hoping for a continuation. Because yeah, even I will say, despite everything, it was still a dumb idea for Just Dance to just end Just Dance 2024 story mode on a cliffhanger with almost no continuation at all in Just Dance 2025. We got something with Lita in Your Eyes, but that's it. That's basically it. So despite everything I said, despite me not being a fan of the story mode, I may not care for it compared to everyone else in the community, I will say, I still think that Just Dance at least needs to give us one more map for the people who are fans of it. There are definitely people in this community who love the story mode and care for it and hopes that there's at least some form of conclusion, some ending at least, just to give them something, just to give them closure. And if they do plan on continuing the story mode, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping they at least make those maps Just Dance Plus exclusive so that you can at least give more people suspense and more build up as you continue to go on. Or, you know, just give us the minimum and give us an option to just skip the cutscenes, or have them only play if you're just gonna play the story mode from the playlist. I don't know, just maybe give us an option to skip the cutscenes, because I'm sorry, some of these are way too long. But yeah, that's my big hot take. I'm so sorry. I tried to like the story mode, I really did, but it's just really not for me. Again, Just Dance can make lore work when it comes to referencing older maps, when it comes to maybe telling a bit of a story one map at a time, but when it comes to just holding out on the whole story mode, it really just wasn't for me. But I will say, just because I may not like the story mode doesn't mean I hate Just Dance, okay? I still love this franchise. I love this game franchise. It means a lot to me. I'm not those annoying people that are like, oh, the story mode killed Just Dance. This story mode is the downfall of Just Dance. I'm not that person, okay? I do not like those people at all. Do not bump me in with those people, okay? And that is my hottest Just Dance take. Do you guys agree with any of these takes? Do you disagree? You probably do. But if you do, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these takes throughout the comments. I'd love to hear them, just as long as you know, spare my feelings, because I may be a 21-year-old adult now who's not really afraid to be honest when it comes to opinions. But still be nice to me, okay? Like, look, I get it, but I have feelings and I'm pretty sensitive with them, okay? Please spare me. And if I did end up offending some of the people in this community, 2,000 likes on this video, I will buy a ukulele and I will make an apology video. That's right, I will be the first Just Dance YouTuber to make an apology video. Hooray! No, but seriously guys, 2,000 likes? I'll do it. I'll absolutely do it. But that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. So until then, goodbye!